From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Tisha Bader.
Hi, this is Micah Halpern, sitting in for Tisha Bader, and here is the JBS News Update for Tuesday, December 28th, 2021. As the efficacy of the COVID boosters has come into question, medical experts have begun to debate whether it is wise to advocate for a fourth shot, or second booster as it's called. Protection from the boosters is said to wane quickly, as fast as 2 to 3 months. Sheba Hospital Center, located near Tel Aviv, is administering the fourth shot to 150 staff members. They will study the staff and see what happens. The study will help leaders in Israel make the decision about whether high-risk populations should get a second booster. At this point, experts are of two minds because of the lack of data. Israel's health ministry's panel has recommended the second booster, saying that the risk of the virus is worse than the risk of overprescribing. The study's director, Gili Regev Yochav, said, "We will examine the fourth dose's effect on the level of the antibodies and morbidity, and we will gauge its safety. We will understand whether it's worthwhile to administer a fourth shot and to whom." Israel's Prime Minister Naftali Bennett announced that the Israeli government is planning to double the number of people who live in the Golan Heights. The government will invest $300 million to lure and entice Israelis to move north. About 50,000 people now live in the Golan Heights. That population is divided almost evenly between Israeli Jews and Israeli Arabs, especially Druze. Israel captured the Golan Heights from Syria in the 1967 Six-Day War. And in 1981, Israel annexed the Golan. And on March 25, 2019, under the administration of then-President Donald Trump, the United States recognized the Golan Heights as part of Israel. Most other countries in the world do not recognize that decision. The Golan Heights is filled with Jewish history. The decision to move more Israelis into the Golan Heights is a strategy to make certain that Israel will not be forced to evacuate the area. From atop the Golan, the entire valley below is in the crosshairs of anyone sitting on the heights. Keeping the Golan is a security necessity for Israel. President Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela announced that he is planning a visit to Iran. Maduro said that an invitation was extended to him by the Iranian president and that he has accepted the invitation. Iran and Venezuela are allies. They are joined together because they are both members of OPEC, and they both have U.S. sanctions against them. Iran has helped Venezuela update their oil production and helped get them back online. In exchange, because Venezuela is hurting so badly for oil, Iran broke international sanctions and shipped oil to Venezuela. In an interview on Venezuelan state TV, Maduro said, "I'm going to Tehran very soon for a visit that President Ibrahim Raisi offered me, so that we meet in person to hold conversations and sign new agreements and speed up processes of cooperation." Israel has begun Operation Shield the North. The purpose of this operation is to provide the residents who live in the northern part of Israel with bomb shelters to protect them from rockets and missiles that may be shot into Israel from Lebanon and from Syria. All total, 21 communities that are situated on the border will have their existing shelters reinforced and new shelters built. Operation Shield the North came about as a direct result of the 2020 Comptroller's Report, which revealed that 30% of Israelis do not have access to functioning shelters in the event of a bombing. Israel needs to prepare for an onslaught of rockets from the north. Until now, they've relied on interceptors, like the Iron Dome. But interceptors can only shoot down so many rockets and missiles. Citizens of Israel need to have safe, well-built, and well-protected bomb shelters in which they can, when necessary, hunker down and wait out the storm. And now, for a look at our JBS programming for tonight, Tuesday, December 28th. At 7 p.m., it's Rabbi Amiel Hirsch and The Plague of Frogs. At 7:30, Joseph Wheeler critiques the Book of Revelation and Authority by Dr. Ben Sommer, a JTS professor. From 8 to 9, the 2021 WITSO U.S. Bible Final. And at 9, L'Chaim with Rabbi Burton Vysotsky talking about Midrash. At 10 p.m., it's Reading Torah, Pshat versus Drash. This is Micah Halpern and the JBS News Update, wishing everyone a good night.